By the late 18th century, the pattern of producing steel sheet for tinplate had been established, a pattern that would last for nearly 200 years.
When you first started there, you know, like any new boy, they tend to take the mickey out of you. And one of your jobs was getting the steel slabs out of the furnace. Well, the furnace was about this high, and you had this long tongs. You look at all this maze of heat. There's a water curtain running on the front, but the secret was just to pull it out fast. First time you done it, you'd go like this, and it went straight in this trough of water, and the whole tin works would fill with steam, and everybody would stop work and cheer, you know, new boy, new boy.
The furnaceman was the second man in the team and would be responsible for heating the tin bath, and he would take the hot sheet, send it skidding at speed across the mill floor to the weight enrollment for processing through the roughing stand and then the finishing stand until the whole slab had been processed completely.
And in the actual cold rolls where they, because obviously when the steel sheets had finished, they were very rough then, so they used to go through cold rolls as they called them, and they were fed by hand. And quite a few people ended up with no fingers, where, you know, they were shoving the sheets in, and, you know, I mean, they had to get through 1,000 a shift, like, you know, just in case of, let's be careful, yeah. There's a chung, 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 oops. And, you know, it's bad enough catching your hand in the old-fashioned mangle when you roll in the clothes, but you catch a roll that's designed to flatten steel, and, yeah.
After being separated by the opener, the sheets would require annealing. This is a process whereby the sheets are placed in a furnace with an inert gas in order to make them more malleable, as rolling makes the steel very brittle.
Often used to get cuts on our knuckles when you were getting the sheet out and trying to push it back over, trying to stack it up. Sometimes this sheet would slip in the tongs, and then it did, it came across your knuckles. I mean, once upon a time you could see the scars on my knuckles from the sheet, but that, you know, when that happened, you didn't even stop work. You know, you just dipped it in the water or put a bit of tar on it or something like that. Then the big accident, which was, I wouldn't say regular, was the doublers. When they were bending the sheets over, they used to get this long steel sheet, bend it over, put their foot on it, lift it up, and there was this big flat thing came down and flattened them. So they got, and sometimes the sheet would spring, and it would come back across their ankle. That was a serious accident. It was known as doubler's cut. That was the term for it, because doublers are used to get it.
Before this can take place, each sheet has to be separated from the next, as they stick together as a result of the hot rolling process. This is the job of the opener, a position that seems to have been exclusively the domain of women.
The sheets would not weld but stick together, and then women used to, there was this bench of women there with these big sheets of steel, getting them, banging them with a glove on, and actually tearing the sheets apart. You know, it was unbelievable. Work men wouldn't do today, and yet there was all these women doing that sort of work.
Following the annealing process, the sheets would then be pickled to clear any scale or rust from their surfaces before then being cold rolled. Cold rolled would give the finished surface to the steel.
And when you first started there, you always got burns because you weren't used to the heat.
It was finally taken to the tin plating process, where the sheets would be individually dipped into a tank of molten tin before being cleaned to produce a clean, shiny sheet of tin-plated steel. This would be then inspected by a team of experts before they were packed individually and transported then to the customers.